Hey guys, it's BrittanyBearMakeup here and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm here with two of my favorite people. I am on Natalie's podcast, guys. I'm so excited to be here. You guys are gonna hear some juicy stuff about my life, and thank you guys for having me.
Of course.
Thanks for coming.
It's about to go down.
It's about to go down, so
Yes.
make sure you guys turn on your post notifications so you guys could be a part of my bear family. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and as always, guys, hit that subscribe button and keep on watching as you find out some more juicy secrets about your girl.
Do it.
Yes.
You are now rocking with
Brittany, bitch.
Let's jump right into it. We have the beautiful Brittany Bear, which is all of your social media tags as well, right?
Yes, it's all Brittany Blair. It's Brittany Bear. I don't even know what I'm saying, but yes, it's Brittany Bear on all my social media accounts. So follow me, please.
Yes, that way you guys can actually see how beautiful she really is in the flesh.
You're so cute.
But let's dive right into it. First, thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you for having me, guys. I'm so excited because literally my favorite person on earth.
Oh
right
my
here.
gosh.
I'm not even kidding you. I hear
Oh,
everyone
thank you.
say
That's
this
very
about
nice of
you,
you to
and
say
I'm
that.
like,
Oh, you're talking about her? Whatever.
both of you guys.
Me and Ozzy are gonna hang out. Forget it.
Jonathan, she
Ozzy
knows
is
it's,
here in the
it's
studio,
the Natalie
too.
Eva Marie show, so she knows what's up.
Yes,
That's
that's
easy.
true. Jonathan. No, I'm just kidding. I love you
Ozzy's
both.
sitting here on the couch. I'm gonna go join him. We're gonna
Yeah, please do.
talk video games and.
Oh God.
Let's do it.
Good
Yeah.
luck. This is
But-
not that exciting.
And Ozzy is Brittany's boyfriend,
Yes.
and he's
Yes.
sitting here.
Which we're going to
Soon
actually
to be
get in.
husband, I'm sure. That's all.
Natalie's
You're so
giving
annoying,
no
Jonathan.
I know, you tell me.
Yeah, exactly. Be quiet. Can we mute someone's microphone? Yeah, please. Sean, can you actually mute Jonathan for this podcast? Thanks. Just kidding. No, which we're obviously going to dive in about Ozzy because you guys obviously work together.
Yes, of course.
And, you know, I clearly work with my amazing husband
Mhm.
over here, so that's obviously something we have in common. But let's get into why did you start makeup?
So I actually started makeup. I was always inspired by makeup. Like growing up, my sister was into makeup and I was just obsessed with watching her do my makeup. So I always had an interest. I would do my friends' makeup for like events. And what happened was like my story of kind of how I started my Instagram.
Yeah.
I guess we can start there. Is so I used to work at the mall. I used to work at Guess by Marciano and I loved it. And every time I was there, I would always get super ready and glam. And I would have clients come in and they were like, "Oh, I love your makeup." So the number one comment I was getting is that everyone loved my makeup. So I thought, okay, this is cool. Like everyone keeps complimenting me. Maybe I should kind of like try to branch out into more of a makeup type of, you know, environment. So at that job, I mean, they literally just no one took me serious. They just were like, this ditzy little doodle over here. So that was kind of my story on that. So what happened was I went and applied at Bare Minerals.
Okay.
And I was so excited. I was so pumped to work there. Everything was going to be like so much fun. I said, peace out to my old job. You guys don't appreciate me. I'm about to be Beyonce. So I went to start my new job and I was so excited. And the first day I was there, a woman came in and she asked me if I could, or if she could get color matched. And I was like, oh, girl, I got this in a second. I'm going to prove to my employees that I know what I'm doing. So I asked my manager, I said, could I have brushes to color match her? And the manager goes, yeah, girl, let me go get the brushes. So she went to the back and she came back 2 seconds later. I was like, sorry, honey, we only hired you to be a pretty face at the door. So at that part, like I felt so defeated and I just felt so stupid. And I was like, how is it that I left my job and here I am trying to make a name for myself and none of them took me serious.
How old were you?
So, I was probably like 17, 18 at
Okay.
the time, yeah. So, I mean, I was so excited and I thought, okay, it's okay. Let me just prove myself for 6 months. It was, or 6 months, actually, no, it was like 2 months. It was seasonal.
Yeah.
So I tried to prove myself and just basically go out there and work hard. And they told me that they were going to keep me and that everything was going to be great. And so I was excited. I worked every single day, never took a day off. It was literally just trying to prove myself. And one day, they already had told me they were going to extend my stay. They took me to the back and said, sorry, honey, we can't keep you anymore. We need to let you go. We don't have room for you. So at that part in my life, I felt really down. And I was like, you know, I worked so hard to prove to these people that here I was and I was ready to work. And I felt defeated. And I remember going back literally like 3 days after and they had hired new girls. So what that told me was there was something against me that they had because they just treated me so poorly. So I remember I was in a really dark place in my life and I was talking to Ozzy one day and I was just like, you know, I know God put me on this earth to do something amazing, but I don't know what it is. And at that time, I knew makeup was my passion and it was like popping off on Instagram. And I said, and he was the one who kind of pushed me. He was like, you know what? You have so much potential. Just do something. So I started my Instagram And I was so consistent. I mean, every single day, I would literally do my makeup like 15 times a day to where my eyes were like bloodshot red and like bleeding. And that was kind of like how I started my journey in makeup. I just kind of took a poor situation and tried to make it more positive and something that was gonna, you know, thrive later on in the future.
For sure. And like you guys, her Instagram is
It's popping off.
No,
It's
you guys
just
are
under a million. Are you kidding me?
Yeah,
That's huge.
it's-
And
I
your
mean,
YouTube is blowing up as well too.
well, we'll get into her YouTube
Yeah.
channel in a second. Sean, can you mute this guy?
He's throwing away. He's giving away all the
Seriously.
questions.
Jeez.
Poor Jonathan, I love
Poor
it.
Jonathan is right.
I'm
My
just
goodness.
kidding. I love
Jonathan
her.
and
Yeah.
Ozzy are literally the same. I love it.
We're punching back for our Latin women.
Our Latin
That-
divas.
Yeah.
That's true. I mean, you guys knew what you signed
No,
up for.
for sure. I've seen enough TV. I
We were
know.
born
I watch
crazy,
enough
Jonathan.
Orange is the New Black.
Born crazy.
Exactly.
We blame our mothers.
100%.
Mhm.
For sure. Shout out, Mom. I love you.
I love that.
I think that's, is that how I found you? How did I find you?
Okay,
Was it
so
social media?
Yeah, we actually did like a random Bellamy shoot for hair, and I saw you there, and I remember I introduced myself to you, and I was like, oh my god! I remember I went home and I was like, I just met Natalie Eva Marie. I was so excited and pumped, and I told Ozzy, I was like, she's so perfect in person. Oh my god, I would love to do her makeup. And I think I don't know if I slid into your DMs one time, and I was like, if you ever need makeup, holla at your girl, you know. And I knew what I was doing. I was like, whoosh, I'm just gonna put it out there. I know you have a makeup artist, but if you ever need me, I'm here.
Which is so smart, which I think is like, that is the perks and what I think is so great. Obviously, you know, there are some negative aspects to social media,
Of course.
but this is one of like the positive is that you
Yeah.
get to be able to communicate and connect with people that you normally couldn't.
Yeah,
Or there
they're out
wasn't
of
a way.
reach.
Yeah.
Of course,
That-
of course.
Before social media, there was no way that you could actually reach out to somebody unless you go through a manager or an
Yeah.
agent or something of that nature
Yeah.
before, you know. But obviously, yes, Brittany came and slayed.
I remember
Like,
the
it's
first time I did your
gods.
makeup, it was so funny, guys, because I literally looked at Eva and I was like, I know this is going to come off very weird, but I want to contour your nose and I want to use a different method because I think you normally contour your nose like this, and I think it can make you look like, and I was like, why did I say that? Like, I straight up told you,
Which is great.
but it was insane. I literally said that. I was like, I don't even know her that well, and she's like my dream client, and I'm over here straight up telling her, girl, I'm about to reconstruct.
Yeah.
Like, it was the randomest thing, but I remember after, like, we got along so well, and
Yeah.
I'm all about vibes. Like, Ozzy knows. So when I meet someone, I'm like, they're a good person, they're amazing. Your guys' vibes, you were so welcoming, both of you. And you guys were just so sweet that I was like, I know that if I say this to her, she's not going to get offended. She will
Totally.
understand it's coming from the contour place.
Well, and not only that, I mean, you're an artist, so it's almost like, and the more that because obviously I love makeup, I love beauty, I love
of course.
every, like, fashion, hair, all of it. So you're an artist looking at a blank canvas,
Yeah.
and you're about to go to work and basically reconstruct some magic.
Of course.
That's why I love makeup so much, because you really can go from 0 to hero in 2.5
Oh, girl, trust
seconds.
me. Ozzy sees it every day.
Oh.
What's funny, when I have no makeup on, we call me Brian because I literally look
Good
like
story,
a
guys.
boy. And
That's
then
true.
when I have makeup on, it's like, damn, Brittany's in the house.
From
So
Brain
it's
to
like two
Brian.
different people.
Which I love that. I mean, trust me, Jonathan sees it on a daily, especially, yeah.
When you wake up, you look just as
Girl,
gorgeous as
I
when you-
swear, I can honestly put this on everyone I love. You look the same whether you have freaking mud on your face or...
No, her
No.
bone structure is ridiculous.
Okay.
Isn't it her jaw?
I have to take pictures next to her. It's so embarrassing. Like, I'll be on a red carpet and I'll be like, oh, God.
You
damn
guys,
it,
the
I gotta
interview
take a
is not
photo
about
with
me.
her. Okay, sorry.
Okay, sorry,
but,
girl.
no, but I love you guys.
But-
But thank you.
But you know what?
Yeah,
Actually, what I
Absolutely.
want to go back to real fast, 'cause I think it's actually a really powerful point that was made, is that you started off, you were stoked to be working in Bare Minerals as a makeup artist in
Yeah.
Bare Minerals, and that was like, oh
That
my
was
God.
it for me.
That was it for you.
Yeah.
And then you got basically smacked down by them
Yeah.
and went on to do literally, I don't even think 1,000 times
Oh.
better is even the correct analogy, because it went
So
from,
sweet.
no,
Well,
for real.
it's
Now you are one of the players in the beauty world.
Yes,
Thank you.
and a
Worldwide.
big time player. And not only that, it just goes to show if you truly want to do something, perseverance is everything. Because
Absolutely.
at the end of the day, I mean, I'm sure you've been knocked down way more than just
I would
Bare
say
Minerals.
more even than that. I would say is
Girl.
that sometimes your dreams aren't big enough.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No, it's true, and that is a really good point to make, because I see a lot of people in life and they just settle, and I think something that I learned this year, just more than anything, was I had to step back, and I got so comfortable at one point in my life where I plateaued, and I felt like everything in my life was just on hold because I was so comfortable with who I was surrounding myself with.
Yeah.
And everything that was going on in my life, I was just comfortable. I was making money, I was at my prime, I was growing. And then it got to a point where I was like, why am I so content with being mediocre?
Mm-hmm.
Like, there should always be more. I should always want more. And that's important too, to just let people know, is that we settle so much. Like, we can do anything we want in life, like anything. And if we just knew the power in what that actually means, it's insane how much we can truly accomplish. And that just goes to show that I was limiting myself as what I could possibly do. Bare Minerals was it. I was going to be powdering girls' faces for the rest of my life, and I was happy.
And imagine like how sad you were and how defeated you felt at that time, but
Yeah.
not knowing where you were going to end up.
Absolutely.
So how many people out there have the same kind of thing where they think that they're in this really dark valley, but you're not even at a valley, you're just at the very beginning of what's going to be a great destiny.
For sure. It's insane. It's so crazy.
I mean, even with starting your Instagram, and we'll jump into your YouTube channel, but before even that, I mean, you got a collab with Morphe, which is a huge brand.
Yeah.
I feel like they're taking over. I mean, we walked into the Brea Mall, and I'm like, wait, what?
Yeah,
Morphe store, hello.
That's where I worked. That was my first job. So it's funny that I went back to the Brea Mall, and a lot of the girls that worked at Bare Minerals now work for Morphe.
That's amazing.
Wow, and
So
your
it's-
face
I
is
like
up
that.
on the wall.
Yeah.
So it's one of those things where I told them it's surreal, and it's nothing against anyone.
Of
because,
course.
you know, everyone's following their dreams, and those girls, it's not that I wish any harm towards them. It was just one of those things where it was surreal for me to think that was it for me. I was so angry and so hurt by the situation, and now I'm walking into a store, and they have to get trained on my product.
Totally.
And it's one of those things where if that's not, you know, if that's not a full circle right there, it's like, what is? It was surreal, and it's just an amazing experience to actually be able to see that happen.
Well, not only that, but I think too is like taking it even a step further. And I mean, obviously, anybody that follows Brittany, you know she's all about that nose contour. Like, nose contour is her thing. I mean, the first thing that she wanted to do was fix up mine. So
Your nose is perfect, but I was just like, girl, can I contour your nose? Because at the time, that was really what I was pushing. I had to prove to Morphe, actually, at that time, that it was my niche. In order to get the collaboration, it was something that we had both had negotiated. Like, let me show you that this is what I'm passionate about. Because at the time, no one knew, nose contouring brushes. Why would you come out with that?
Yeah.
It wasn't a thing. So it was a trial too for me to be like, look, this is a trend. Like, people want to look a certain way, and like, it's not saying that everyone knows it's messed up. It's just finding a niche and actually being like, there's brushes for this. If this is something that you actually want to do. So that's kind of what it was too. I was just trying to pull everyone's face and be like, even if you had the smallest nose, I'm like, can I contour your nose? And
For
pretend
sure.
this was me?
which is super smart.
Hey, you
That's
need a
like,
hook.
you need a hook. You need
Exactly.
a hook. And obviously it worked out because Morphe ended up doing an amazing collaboration that's
Thank
still going
you.
on. So you
Yes.
guys, if
They
you
made it permanent. So
Oh my
it's,
God.
Yeah,
that
that's
was
huge.
that
Wow.
was
Congratulations. I
I
didn't
was
know that.
actually I was in Kentucky when Linda called me, and it was supposed to be a trial thing. And of course, collaborations, if they do well, it's great. And
Yeah, the
if they
fact it's
don't,
permanent means it kills.
Yeah, and she called me, and I started crying on the phone with her, and I said, you don't know how much this means to me, because it's one of those things that, like, you work so hard on, and it was a vision I had. Ooh, it was in the works for years.
Yeah.
Literally. I had to prove to them for about 3 years
wow.
And people don't hear that part.
They don't, because they only
They
see as
think,
soon as you
boom,
drop
she
the
popped it.
product,
Oh,
it's
for
like,
sure.
oh,
Exactly.
that came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
How
Yeah,
did she get this?
Exactly. That's all the
Totally.
comments were like, hey, where is she? I don't understand. I'm like, girl, this has been in the works since I came out of my mama. I knew it was gonna happen. So
No,
it's-
totally.
Yeah, it's a crazy journey, but I'm so blessed and it's so cool to see.
That's huge. I mean, to have a permanent.
No, and also, by the way, we've seen her face
And
out.
tomorrow gets canceled.
over
I'm all like,
at-
it's permanent.
No.
Tomorrow they're like, discontinuing.
We've seen Brittany's face, I think, twice in 2 different places this month,
You're
because I've
so
had
cute.
impressions as well. I was like,
Oh,
oh, there's Brittany.
Yep. You have
Yeah.
your collab. I mean, look at you're
Yeah.
killing
Killing
the beauty game for
You're so
sure.
sweet. Thank you.
And then it also shows you know how to kind of move with where you want to go. So you just created your YouTube channel. What
Yes.
like
6 months ago. It's probably like going on seven.
Yeah,
Oh my
explosive,
God.
Maybe,
explosive growth on that
so
thing, too.
okay 6, 7, 8 whatever months ago,
It's
which
7.
is
I was like, it's 7. I add an extra month to our growth.
no, and your growth is phenomenal.
You're so sweet.
I
Thank you.
checked last night and it was
It's like
are you
almost
60?
Yeah, 60.
which is that's huge. That's
It
like
Yeah,
is.
in
It
that's
started-
7 months,
we
that's
started from
60,000%.
Yeah.
You grew 60,000% in 6 months.
Yeah, that's insane. That's like, what, 10 a month?
Yeah.
10,000
10,000
subscribers a month. I mean, that's bananas.
That is
Yeah.
crazy.
I mean, to get a subscriber one, let
Yeah.
alone 10,000, is extremely hard to do. And I have, okay, so this is where Ozzy, you're gonna come into the picture too, because you guys work together. And what made you decide to go ahead? You know what? I need to create a YouTube channel, because before you weren't doing the YouTube,
Yeah.
you were more focused on like your website and
Yeah,
stuff like that.
of course.
So what made you all of a sudden say, you know what?
So yeah, like why did I do it?
Yeah.
Of course. What happened with me was I had done my website and I was basically selling tutorials, and my nose contouring was selling for $20. So people would unlock, and mind you, it was a tragic video. I'm sorry to everyone who bought it. We crack up to this day because it was a good, like the technique was good, but the quality compared to now,
Yeah.
we're just like, oh my god, this is so tragic. But people
She
were
just
buying
threw
it.
me
It
under the
was
bus.
no, it wasn't Aussie. It was just we didn't know at the time, and we were trying, and
Yeah.
and it worked. I mean, people, we probably, out of everything we ever had, never got one bad review. Maybe one time someone was just like, oh, you know, I feel like something, whatever. The point was, I started my website and it was doing well, but I knew that I needed to build that fan base.
Yeah.
I had my Instagram, but I mean, if you look at my Instagram, you would think I'm the meanest, most depressed person of life, because I promise you, I just look angry in every photo. And I needed people to see that I am the dorkiest little doodle you will
Yeah.
ever meet. I do not take myself serious. Like, it's literally like the small package of a girl with big dreams, but she's, you know, I was raised to be humble. I was raised to understand that we're all equal. I don't feel like I'm better than anyone. So like, I needed people to see that there was another side of me.
Yeah.
And I knew YouTube was that platform to just be goofy and to be myself and to share my passion. And that's what really got me to sit down with Ozzy and be like, okay, I need you to quit your job and I need you to come with me, and I'm just gonna hire you, and you're gonna be like, we're gonna be a team. Like, if we're building our future together, let's do it. Let's actually go out there and try this, and let's like hustle. And that's what happened within this past year, right?
I mean, but the editing is
Yeah,
top.
Ozzy is
mean,
really, really good. Brittany's
like,
very talented. She's
yeah, of
fantastic.
course.
Her
Oh, no,
personality,
you guys are so sweet, but
her personality
it's
comes
Ozzy's editing.
across very,
'Cause
very
if you
well
saw
on
the
YouTube.
video,
But
it's
Ozzy's
5 hours
editing
of
is
nonsense, and Ozzy cuts it down to like a magical experience. I tell him all the time, he had no experience in editing. He literally taught himself everything, and it's like
Wow.
such a blessing because he always pushes the limits. Like, and that's why I'm so grateful for him, because you guys, our Halloween series is gonna be popping. He's already shown me some of the intros for some of the ideas that we have, and I'm like, that's insane to think. And the thing about Ozzy too is he will pull like 48 hours without sleep, and I'm not saying this like, oh, he really doesn't sleep. He doesn't sleep. Like, he will work on a video from start to finish for 2 days straight, not even take a nap until it's done, because that's how committed he is to this. And I know he sees the potential in us, and I'm just so grateful for that, to have that support system and someone who literally taught themselves how to do something incredible out of nothing.
I mean, the fact that you are self-taught in this, I mean,
It's
the
insane.
editing to me
You're so
is
sweet.
insane. Obviously, you're amazing, you're funny,
You're
your
so cute.
personality comes through.
Thank
Like, the
you.
Brittany that I know is definitely, like, it's so cute, it's
Thank
bubbly,
you.
it's funny. Like, I love your videos.
Uh-huh.
But on top of that, it's just, like, I'm so fascinated because how it's put together is phenomenal.
Thank you.
It's
I mean,
really,
I agree.
I mean, the Huda Beauty one.
Thank you guys.
Oh,
Oh.
thank you.
Oh,
Yeah.
thank you. I appreciate that. But it's,
Yeah.
honestly, I could say it's 90% her. 10%
No, it's
me.
not. It's
It really
50-50.
is.
Well,
I
Jonathan-
think
Ozzy's being very modest
He
right now.
is.
and
No,
saying
it
that-
is.
Saying that it's all,
You need-
all
you
Brittany.
need- No, you need
Ozzy's
to
on
leave
mic,
it.
so I'm able to. I'll speak for my man is not mic right now.
Oh my god.
Ozzy's saying that it's 90% Brittany. He can't take the credit for it. He
No.
just
It's both.
he's,
It's
he's an
both.
artist working with a great canvas.
No, it's,
There you
it's
go.
both.
It's the best way to put it.
I have a vision, like sometimes he'll look at me, he's like, Huda, you're copying Huda Mute. Like, what? And I'm like, I'm gonna do this photo, and
Yeah.
I put on my wig, and he looks at me like literally, like, what are you doing? This is ridiculous. And then when it's done, I mean, he sees the vision, and he literally puts it together. What's funny is that before I had to sit with him and be like, this is primer, foundation, this, and this. And now, he edits the videos without me having to be there. He knows every step of makeup, puts it in order, knows what to crop, knows what to put,
Wow.
and it's insane to me. I'm like, you literally know how to do makeup. You know every step from start to finish, and he never asked me anything. He's like, oh, everything's always in order, placed properly, crop properly. So I'm just like, okay, he learned.
That is incredible, literally how he taught himself. I'm still like stuck on that because editing is not
It's not.
easy.
I used to do the lamest iMovie videos, and oh my
That's
god,
what
I go
Jonathan
back.
does.
Yeah, no, that's
Oh,
the extent
but
of
it's not about iMovie. Let me tell
don't
you.
you worry about offending me on it.
Yeah, trust me,
don't-
this is why I'm so obsessed with, one, it just shows how determined you both are and how committed you are and how much you believe in yourselves and your dream, because to do, like, a lot of people also have the misconception with YouTube, it's super easy. It's really not. So our YouTube channel, we've been actually doing it the last, I would say 3 months, really consistent of posting.
Amazing.
But we're not doing
we
any
don't
kind of
edit.
editing. There's no
no,
editing.
there's no editing. Jonathan, just all he does, he's like, okay.
I'm like, we have to get this in one take,
he's
because
like,
I'm not editing this.
So he basically is like, don't.
But that's an art. That's an art in itself. Because trust me, if you told me to do it in one take, it takes like 3 hours of him cropping me, just like sitting there slouched down with like my cutlets sticking out of my shirt. Like, oh, I didn't know you were filming. Like,
I mean, in all fairness, though, it would be shame on us if after 7 seasons of a reality show, we can't do a 10-minute video in one take.
But y'all fail.
No, you guys are honestly that's an art in itself. And let me just say that you guys are entertaining, because that is hard to do. To not have, like, I have the editing to back me up. You guys don't. So you guys are entertaining without the editing, then you're on to something, let me just say.
But imagine if we have the editing, okay.
You know what, too, which is a really good kind of transition into this, which, as we're talking about this, I'm thinking, man, okay, so when people kind of ask, like, what are, like, kind of the keys to success, I would really say with complete certainty that a major aspect of it is a good relationship.
I second that.
Because
there's,
think of the amount of time you have spent in my life. I can't speak for others. I will speak for myself.
Yeah.
The amount of time in my life that I have spent in nonsense relationships with my time and my energy bandwidth dedicated to absolute utter nonsense. What are they doing?
Right.
Who are they talking to? Why are they leaving these comments? Why are they stressing me on this?
Amen
The amount
to
of
that.
time that I've spent on that. Now being in a good relationship, that time is not spent on nonsense. It's spent on progressing.
I do have to say something about that. I always tell them, and like with other people, I have friends all the time, they're like, oh my god, he liked her photo, and I'm so insecure with every girl on social media. Sorry for the voice. You guys are probably like,
No, I do the
who
voices
talks like
too.
that?
I do the voices too,
This
so
is
we
the
good.
little
This
show.
is my disgruntled fan that leaves me a bad comment. I am so upset. So
Exactly.
I do it too. Don't you worry.
No, but I hear them babble on for hours about nonsense, and I'm like, I've never had to deal with that. Like, he's never given me problems. I've never given him problems. When the first maybe 6 months we were together, a year, he gave me a promise ring, and like, it sounds so corny because you're like, a promise ring.
Doesn't
you're
sound
like
corny to me at
But
all.
to me, it's like, I made that promise years ago that you're it, and like, I want to spend the rest of my life with you, and I knew that day because I was never looking for a guy. God brought me someone in my life. And I'm like, this is it for us. We know we see the future, and at this point, it's like we're just working towards that future and building that relationship together. And I love that because, like you said, you don't have to worry about the nonsense. And that's the biggest key to a relationship. If you're literally grabbing your boyfriend's phone, if you're so concerned with,
anymore.
you know, if your boyfriend's liking other people's photos, then I mean, is that not a wake up call in itself? Like, unless you trust him, he follows all my friends and supports all of them, and I'm like, that's fine with me because it's not like I'm like, oh, you like so, you know, I don't even think like that. To me, it's like he loves the people I love and cherish, and that's kind of the support he gives me, and I do the same with him. So it really does. You have to have a good relationship.
And something too, where I like to speak about this a lot too, because Natalie has a lot of really strong and famous and out in the public eye and kind of the star type of female friends.
Of course.
And I'm always like, you guys' relationships, your guys are such dope guys. They're such secure guys because they don't need to be the center of attention.
Oh yeah.
They're okay having their woman out there in the
that's
forefront.
important.
They're okay with their woman getting all that
It's not a
attention.
competition.
It's not at all. Like, and that's the thing. And you have to really give credit to that level of security because a lot of guys, they need a peacock. They need to be the one that is the center of attention. They're exactly. And so for a guy to be like, you know what, babe, you go out there, you do you, you're killing it,
that's
you're
why
beautiful.
Jonathan's wearing the humble hat today.
That's right.
Because he stays humble.
But that's really what it is,
I
right?
love it though. No, 100%, I agree.
And I would say if you're a woman that wants to really excel and get far ahead in the public eye, I'd be really careful about getting a guy teamed up with you or in a relationship with who also wants that as well.
Oh,
because there's going to be major
it's
competitive
too
issues
much.
there.
You really
You
can.
can't.
Like, I can support him. Like today we were, or the other day, he was like, I want a photo of me to post away. Like, he doesn't mean, he's like, I don't want to be famous. I just want to post a photo.
Yeah, I have nothing
And
on
I thought it
my
was so
feed right
cute
now.
because
I don't
it's
post
like, it's
ever.
so
I really
true.
don't
I
post
know
ever.
his intentions aren't like he's trying to be like, peace out, girl. I'm
Yeah.
doing everything
I'm
now.
gonna
Go
get my
out.
Insta hose.
Yeah.
He's just like, I would like to post and update my family list now that I have new pants. I'm like, okay, you know what? So that's today. What's funny is like before you guys came out,
Yeah.
I was trying to take a photo. He's like, they're coming. Like he got all nervous. I'm like, okay, never mind, we'll do it after. So I'm all putting him on blast. He's like, darn it. But yeah.
But that's the same with Jonathan too. Is like a lot of the photos. I mean, I guess before he was very much more heavily into fitness photos.
When I was in
and
the
stuff like
fitness thing,
that.
I had to do that.
Of course,
Yeah.
of course.
100%.
And
That
it
was
was
how I was
popping off
making
at
money.
one point where it was
Yeah.
like,
Totally, yeah. Like this,
why not do it?
Yeah.
yes, I'm a grown man in tights and nothing else. I'm doing this for money, just so you guys
Exactly.
know. Like,
I love it.
I'm getting paid.
But I think that's the best feeling in the world. Like I've had obviously terrible relationships prior to Jonathan. Jonathan was my
Every relationship
Jonathan-
prior to Jonathan.
Jonathan was
terrible.
my godsend
Aw,
for sure.
I love
But it's such a beautiful feeling to
Mhm.
not have to try to like creep on his phone
Oh my
or
god.
try to have that weird uneasy feeling of either not knowing where he is
Exactly.
or who's texting him or whatever. Because honestly, I kid you not, at this very moment,
Mhm.
I don't care what's in his phone because I'm not even tripping.
Exactly.
And plus, on the other side, I think I've also
She would find my hidden photos of World of Warcraft.
yeah.
I love it.
Those are juicy.
Different
Spell of
spells.
alacrity that
Oh,
when he was
but
I also
level
think-
60 troll.
The cheat codes.
Wow, Jonathan.
I love
Wow.
that.
But I also think too is like obviously I've learned a lot from just past relationships and getting
Yeah.
older
Mhm.
that I know that I'm a dope wife
Of
and I
course.
know if my
You know your worth.
I know my worth
Amen.
and I know also if I'm not being shady and if I'm doing everything right, where if you put a camera on my actions,
Mhm.
he would not be offended or upset or
Of course.
anything. So then it makes me not worry because I'm already
Yeah.
I'm
that's-
doing fine.
That's literally how I am. I don't worry because I'm like, I'm not doing it, so why do I? He doesn't even have time. He's editing, literally.
Yeah.
I'm like, you wouldn't even have time to do it. But that's not
That's
even
what we
thought.
talk. That's what
We
we
talk
talk about
about it all
that
the
too.
time.
I'm
I'm
like,
like,
the
how?
talk. How do people do it?
How?
How?
Oh my God.
The energy.
My friend literally got played by a guy who had like 20 girlfriends. I'm like, where do you find the time to run
Right?
businesses and also have 20 other girlfriends?
Dude,
And
and the way, like, oh my God, one woman is enough. My
Right?
God, imagine
I
having to
take
deal
that
with.
offense to
Imagine
that.
having to deal with like 3 other girls' nonsense and
No,
just the
I know.
conversations and the stuff that you're not interested in at
Yeah.
all.
I
Oh.
agree. So definitely, who you end up with is definitely important.
of
But
course.
let's get into what is your like number one beauty secret or your must-haves, or
That's a
besides
good one.
obviously you can't say like wear sunscreen.
Oh God, no. I don't even wear sunscreen.
Brittany,
Girl, I don't even wash my face with good products. I use like Dove, not even Dove, Zest.
Dove is good.
No,
I was
Dove
like,
is
Dove
good.
is
That's
good.
why I don't know why Dove came in my head. Because Dove is good. I use like Zest. Sometimes I use dishwashing soap, whatever's in front of me. Like, and
That's
people are always
amazing.
like,
Guys, her skin is so
"What's
good."
your
Yeah,
skin?"
that's
Everyone's
crazy.
like, what's your skincare? I'm like, girl, if you want a video
Palm
of me
olive.
opening up my,
Oh my God.
$2 Zest. No, my beauty must-haves. I'm trying to think. Okay, so I'm really obsessed with, have you ever heard of the company Joey Cosmetics?
I have because of you.
Okay,
So
girl.
Joey, holler at your girl over
Joey
here.
foundation, and they just came out with a concealer. Honestly, it's life.
Really?
It really is. I'm not even just saying that. Like, the most incredible product. I wish I came up with it. I think about it all the time. I'm like,
Wow.
damn it, she stole my formula.
Full coverage.
Full coverage. It's amazing, but it's very buildable too. So like, if you're a natural girl and you just want like a drop, could literally cover your whole face and still make it
Wow.
look like amazing. So that for sure is one. My nose contour brush.
Of course.
The way I say that.
But
No, but really, honestly,
Well,
I
where
love
can
those.
where can someone purchase those? Nose
Yeah.
contour
So
brushes?
those, you're so sweet. Those are Morphe.com, and they're called the 360 nose contouring brushes. And you can purchase them there or in stores now that they're kind of expanding all over the world,
I
which is so
know.
cool.
that means you're expanding too, girl.
I know, right?
it's
That
Which
means
is awesome. You're
It
on,
is.
you're on board.
Global
I'm in
reach.
Japan.
Yeah,
No, I'm just
yeah.
kidding. Not yet, not yet.
I mean, it definitely shows the. I mean, I told Jonathan, I'm like, yeah, Brittany has another video out. Let's go.
Aww.
You know, it's crazy. I mean,
Yeah.
obviously, I definitely agree with the consistency
Mhm.
in the YouTube space is definitely something that is
It's
you
important.
need to do it because people will just assume like, oh, they're
Yeah.
not posting for
Yeah.
whatever, you know. So I think that is insane. And then do you interact with
Oh
all
my god, I comment back to every single person on Instagram, on YouTube, on
Yeah,
DMs.
that's a big one
That's-
actually.
And it's really big to me too, and I feel like a lot of people have just, once I started my YouTube, I've noticed a lot of people come to me for advice, and I tell them all the time, I get DMs all the time from girls that are like, I'm in this situation, or I feel depressed, or I want to commit suicide, and it's like all these things that it's like, you know, I dedicated my life to. If people can take the time to comment something sweet on mine, I can take the time to comment something back to them. So it's something that I do. It's something that I say, like, this platform was given to me, and even if I could help one girl, one boy, it doesn't matter who it is, like, that is so important. You don't realize how much you impact people's lives with just, like, a small word of just saying, like, thanks, love, or I really appreciate you so much, I hope you have a good day. Something like that could really just make someone's day go from so bad to amazing. It's happened to me before where someone smiled at me and I was like, damn, okay. I was like, I either look good or it's going down.
No, for sure. I think that, it's the little acts of kindness is super 100%. Important, and it's really what I think is lacking in our social media space, is just because there's very much, people are so caught up in the numbers and the hierarchy and where you're at or what little clique you're in or whatever it may be. So I think that's so important, and what is really great, and that's why it's awesome that you do have a YouTube channel, because people can actually see, your personality come through and shine, as opposed to just a photo.
Yeah.
Well, and the unjaded attitude towards interactions with, like, the fans and followers, because it's really, really, I'm listening to you saying all that, and in my head I'm like, man, I need to be stopping such because where I'm at with it, where I'm at, I'm like, oh, look, what's this little sociopath? No, because after a certain amount of time, and this is wrong, and I need to change my attitude on it, because after a certain amount of time, I'm getting enough negative stuff said to you or about you, or whatever. Then you kind of almost become like
you become numb to it.
Jaded dick.
Yeah, and I've had that happen to me, but
it's good that you're not, because
in life, you kill people with kindness.
Preach, baby girl, preach!
I'm telling you, I can read you my comments from a video I posted, and look, I looked orange. I made a video, my face looked orange, I admit it, but people are like, you look so orange, oh my god, you're disgusting, you don't know what you're talking about, and I just go like, haha, oh my god, I do look orange. And they're like, I can't tell you how many times I've been nice to someone where they're like, you're so ugly, honestly, you're disgusting. I'm like, oh my god, thank you so much, babe, I hope you have a great day, God bless you. And they're like, I just want to let you know you're so sweet, and I apologize for the... So many haters turn into fans.
That's such a good attitude.
It's so good, though.
I need to, honestly,
can't let it affect you.
I will admit right now that I need to take a page from that book, no joke, because I'm the opposite.
You guys heard it first. You
heard
it
first.
Now, whether I do it or not.
Look, whether it's love or hate, there's a reason why they're there, and their comment's engagement. And guess what? Your comment helps me, and I'm just going to take your comment, I'm going to turn it into another comment, and good girl, keep going. If you want to keep telling me I'm ugly, it's 20 more. It does help. And don't get me wrong, I had, like, the first year I started social media, I'd be like, they said I was ugly and I can't blend, and guess what? I couldn't blend, and I did look like a chode at one point in my life. So it comes to the point where you're like, maybe it's not necessarily. This is how I see it. I literally say, I feel so bad for the person that goes out of their way to say something negative about me, because you're in a dark place. I would never do that. I would never be like, Eva, by the way, your glasses are too square or rim. Like, what does that do for me? That just shows that I'm insecure. That shows that I have things inside of me, anger, that I need to put you down because you're living a great life. And so to me, it's like, I genuinely feel bad for these people. And if I could just be like, thank you, love, I hope you have a good day, God bless you, whether it affects them or not, it doesn't matter, because at least I'm not, leveling up to where they are at in life. And that's kind of how you have to take the negativity that comes with social media. It's not that serious. Life is really not that serious. You just have to kind of just understand that.
And that is why you and Natalie, who have that attitude, were better geared to be famous in the limelight than me.
No.
That's why I like to take a back seat, because I definitely don't have that in me. It's really cool to see that.
It's hard, don't get me wrong.
Of course.
And it's genuine, though.
But in all honesty, too, is like, we're all going to have our days. And I'm sure, like, there's going to be bad days, and there's going to be good days, and I think ultimately somebody leaving a terrible hate comment is exactly what you said. It is totally spot on, and I believe the same thing. I'm like, thank you, God, that I'm not in that place.
Because I've been in that place before.
For sure.
I've been in that place where even my friends are like, oh, she's such a this.
Yeah.
Because it was when you think about everything negative you say about someone, there's always some sort of jealousy behind it.
100%.
If I talk about someone
100%.
negative, it's because there's something that they have. You could see a girl and she's out here singing in public, and you're like, I would never do that. Why? Because you don't have the guts to do it yourself. So you find that you're jealous. And that's not his truth. Yeah. And that's how I've always felt. It all stems out of some sort of jealousy, and that's why it's like, you cannot stoop to that level. You cannot be negative about that, because at the end of the day, they're in a dark place.
For sure. Which actually segues into since you are definitely, I mean, you're a major player in this beauty industry, what is the biggest thing that you have dealt with in the sense of, because the beauty community is super small, everybody I feel kind of knows everybody or whatever this little hierarchy is.
Absolutely.
Have you felt, I guess, pressure or this sense of, I need to be a part of this clique or I need to be friends with this person or kind of trying to elevate or I guess get subscribers, get followers and stuff like that?
I mean, I always tell Ozzy, he's always like, you need a friend in this industry, and this is how I see it. We're in an industry where there's people and people are being forced, people that would never even hang out maybe are being forced to like each other. And I'm all about good vibes. Like I said, I don't care how much money you don't care or have. I don't care what you look like, what bag you're, that to me, that's materialistic stuff. I don't care about that. So in this industry, it's genuinely hard to find genuine people that actually aren't into the whole stunt and slay. Like, I get it. Like, look good, that's great. I'm all for it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I say it all the time. But when you really think about it, it's like, we were put on this earth to be role models. Like, so it's hard for me because I feel like our industry is in such a dark place right now where it's become like who's slaying harder, who has the brand new wig, like who's trending more, who's doing it's, and I want to go back to the times when it was just more genuine. Like, I love doing makeup because it makes people feel good. And that's that. So I've always struggled with finding someone in the industry that I could relate to because I just grew up with a whole different mentality. Like, to me, like I said, those materialistic things were never big to me. But in my industry, if I'm not rocking the latest Chanel bag, if I don't have the Louis Vuitton sliders, like, it's like you're irrelevant. Like, if I didn't get my hair done by Jenny Drew, it's
totally.
And it's been hard for me to find someone to connect with. And I'm not saying everyone's bad because obviously, they all have amazing qualities, and I'm sure they all have their stories. But at the end of the day, I feel like that's my biggest struggle is just connecting with someone and really feeling like it's genuine and it's not forced. And I would never, and I always tell Ozzy, I don't like using people. If I'm going to get there, I'm going to get there on my own. Like, I don't want to be like, oh, I can hang out with little Lulu who has 40 million followers and little Lulu's going to get me too. To me, it's like, if I didn't earn it, I don't want it. Yeah. That's always how I've been. And there's so many opportunities where I have to collaborate with people and I'm like, oh, I'm not feeling it. Yeah. And he's like, why don't you collaborate? And I'm like, because to me it's not genuine. If I don't get along with that person, if I don't vibe with that person, what are we going to talk about? We're going to sit there and be like, so girl, you look so hot. Oh my god, you did too. It's like, it's so fake. It comes off like so forced. And I just don't like that. So where I'm at is I literally just do my own thing. I have my boyfriend, I have my family, I love them. I hustle my butt off. I don't need, not saying that I don't like certain people in the industry. It's just like I don't need to step on anyone to get to where I want to be.
And I think that's super important and major because honestly, in the long run, it makes, to me, at least, I mean, I understand why a lot of certain people want to be friends with one another because obviously the whole kind of clique thing,
and maybe
then
they
you
do
grow.
get along, and maybe they
How
do
come
have
not
a good
though?
vibe.
I don't think so.
I don't either, but I was trying to.
I don't think so.
So it's like they're using one of another or
they leverage
whatnot
off each other.
For sure. And at the end of the day, though, ultimately that always ends bad.
It does.
It really does because you end up getting hurt, especially if you are genuine in the relationship, even if you're not, because eventually something bad happens. Yeah. That person ends up either turning on you or they're like, you know what, I'm done with you. Yeah. Bye, on to the next. Yeah, and then it turns into like a unhealthy almost relationship that you're now having.
The turning on thing is hilarious because I've been seeing a lot of that.
Right? Where people turn on each other. But my thing is, I'm sure you felt that way before, where for an example, if I'm like, hey Eva, where did you get your shoes? And then you're like, oh, I got my shoes from here. And then guess what? Tomorrow I'll have an endorsement with them. In your heart, you're just gonna be like, damn it, that could have been me. I get it because I've been through it. I know what it's like to be like, use my connections, do this, do that. And then these people go and they do it and I'm the one who's hurt. So I get too why in the industry we're so guarded with the things that we, that's why so many of us aren't willing to help, because a lot of times as well we're just like, we're seeing all these people prosper off of us and none of them ever want to give us credit. None of them ever want to give credit where it's due. You always have to recognize who helped you. Like, to me, I know everyone who's helped me. I always tell them, like, literally in the beginning when I first started, if I didn't get reposted from Anastasia, Huda Beauty, that is where my platform came from. Yeah. Like, I grew overnight, and these are people that, no matter what, I'm going to support and support and support, because these are the people that built me from nothing. And if someone helps me with something, they help me. There's no shame. There shouldn't be. But nowadays, you have this community of beauty influencers who are like, I'm not going to tell you where I did this, or I'm not going to, and then there's this animosity that grows, and people become angry and jealous, and that's what happens because we all are guarded, because we don't want to help anyone because everyone screws everyone over.
Totally.
Yeah.
And everyone always thinks that only one person can make it to the top of the mountain.
And it's not like
and it's
that.
not like that. There's so much room for everybody in every single industry, and I truly do believe that. I've said it so many times, and I truly do believe that. And I also believe that people do not want to help one another because they are scared that they're either going to lose something or the other person is going to get what they want.
Of course.
So then it ends up being this weird, just like a very odd type of feel.
No, it's really, really strange. And the crazy thing about that, too, is just numbers-wise. Okay, so just L'Oreal, I believe, did $48 billion last year.
I'm like, oh my God.
So there's enough money for everybody.
So trust me, guys.
Oh my God.
And that's L'Oreal's number
L'Oreal
one.
can get a
Then
$5 toast.
there's L'Oreal, Henkel, and Estee Lauder.
That's insane.
And so think about those are the top three, and if all of them are making upwards of $30 billion a year, you guys are okay. There's enough to go around.
And it's like we're all different. Like
100%. That's what makes this
literally.
like amazing. Is that every single person brings a unique quality. Unless you are a dud and is just trying to copy somebody,
Exactly.
you're not going to prosper.
And you know what?
because-
Even some of them do, which is even more
Yeah,
crazy.
that's
Yeah.
true.
So there's enough for everybody.
that is true.
Like if you,
Even the copies.
yeah, even you guys that are
You
out
out
there,
there.
just
You out
copying,
there.
yeah, you
Even the
can
little
keep,
bananas.
keep doing it because there's a career in there for you guys too. Like there's
Right.
enough to go around, especially with social media.
I agree, but I also what I love that you just said was, I don't think a lot of people do this in any industry. So like I know where I have come from. I know all of my trials and tribulations. I know who has helped me, and I know that in my core to this day, because obviously to get to any level, you need help. Like nobody, unless God wants to grant you all of a sudden zero to like immediate immaculate like.
Which he doesn't do a lot of times because
Right.
And
You
even
have
then,
to learn
there's
on the way.
someone that helped.
Of
Completely.
course.
And there's always somebody there to either help you out, whether it's with a post or whether
Yeah.
it's with just something. And I will never forget those people in my life or who was kind to me or
Of course.
just offered a helping hand. And you saying that is something like a quality that I absolutely love because I feel that certain people in every industry, they struggle because that is life.
Yeah.
They work hard. They get to a position.
And they're like,
they
yes,
end up getting a little bit of help. They elevate. Then they are more so successful, and then they all of a sudden forget the
Girl,
people that have
trust me.
helped you.
Do you think it's forgetting, or do you think that it's
No,
ego that's
it's
saying?
an ego.
It's
yeah.
an ego thing.
I went to a party recently and I see people that have just like popped up out of nowhere, and I was telling my boyfriend, I'm like, I say hi to these people. And these are people like, and they're just like, hey, like so short. And I'm like, what is wrong with this world? Like, I honestly want to know, why is everyone so entitled? Why?
Girl.
Just tell me why. What do you have that I don't have? Because I have 2 arms, 2 legs, and a popping face. So please
There you
tell
go.
me.
There you go.
Natalie's making faces in full agreement, like yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes, yes,
It's
yes.
so sad.
It hurts.
It's sad.
It hurts my feelings
It drives
because
me crazy.
so at
She does get her
first,
feelings hurt a lot.
at first,
I did too.
it used to really affect me because it has definitely happened in my life with certain situations and people and stuff like
It's
that.
happened with multiple people.
Yeah.
So she's not out in La La Land with it. It's
Right.
true, but it definitely affects her a lot.
And it really at first really and to this day I can't say that I'm completely over it because I
Of course.
don't
You never-
I can't really
you
understand like the mentality behind that and it makes no sense to me. So like for somebody to say hi to and they're like, oh hey, it's like, bitch, don't act like you don't know nobody.
Girl,
Like
right?
what?
See, I get awkward. I will talk to you until the party's over because I'm like, oh my God, how are you? Are you good? Because my thing is, anyone who interacts with me, I want you to have nothing but positive things to say. Even
Same.
if I feel awkward, even if I have nothing to tell you, I will make it be like, you look great today, or, and it's like, it's one of those things because I just don't get it. I don't get it either.
Yeah.
Trust me, it happens to me all the time, and that's one of the reasons why I struggle with friends because people are just so, they let it get to their head, and I don't know what they're doing that's so much more, it's like you can be the cover of Maybelline and you could still be a regular person. You could still say hi, acknowledge me, I'm a human, I know you, I knew you at your worst, I know you at your best. It does not change who you are. You're still the same little doodle.
I completely agree.
Yeah.
It's actually really shocking to me, but that's just people though, and people obviously for whatever reason we learn through those times as well.
Yeah.
And I think that's what's the most important is everything is a learning experience.
Yeah.
But before we wrap it up,
Yes.
you didn't used to sing.
Oh my gosh, you're so cute.
So
Dun, dun, dun.
I know. So is that something that
And
you,
sing well, by the way.
Yeah,
So
like super, super well.
Oh my God.
I'm sure he did,
So-
he did research.
Like, oh, that's a little snippet of my new EP coming, guys. They told me I could plug myself. So.
Yeah, exactly. So that's what I wanted to ask. I'm like,
Yeah.
like you heard it first. No,
No.
Is that something that
I
you
would do.
eventually want to get back into?
Well, yeah,
yeah.
so just quickly.
Not to put
like,
you on the spot
no,
or
no, no,
anything.
you're not putting me on the spot. That's kind of where I started. So, growing up, I always sang. I used to sing on school tours with like Becky G. Like, it's so funny. These people, Tinashe was on the school tour that I used to do. So I've seen them when they were young. And we did like Radio Disney, me and my friend. We were in like these little doodle groups where we thought we were, oh my God. If
That's huge.
Yeah, that's huge.
It's hilarious though. Like I can't even take myself serious. I used to wear like these cheetah vests and like I used to be at the school tours like popping and
my
everything.
gosh.
Yeah, it was funny, but that's so as a young kid I experienced life very fast.
Yeah.
I want to say that I was like 14 going to clubs with producers and people, and it was a really it was a dark place in my life, actually, I have to say, because the industry is so corrupt. So after everything kind of happened with my singing, me and my friend had a falling out at one point. We're cool now, but you know, we're young.
Yeah,
it's like
course.
jealousy. I was in a group with another girl, so I'm like, you're not better than me.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
too timid to say it, so I would get like jealous, and it was just jealousy. That's what it was. I remember reaching out to a very well-known person, obviously not going to say names,
Yeah.
but he was a producer, and he worked with like Raven and all these people, because I used to hang out with like what's his name, Jaded Smith, like all these people,
Wow.
Jake T. Austin, like these were all Disney people.
Yeah.
We all grew up together because literally it was an industry that these kids weren't famous at the time, or they were just starting on the Disney Channel. So we were like an industry of kids that kind of grew together, and then everyone went off and did their own thing. So, like, do you know who Jasmine Sanders is? Like, the Golden Barbie or whatever?
Yes.
Yeah, so, like, these are people that I just knew all the time. And I remember I was like, she's so pretty, whatever. But then they became, like, you know, real celebrities. So, what's really cool about that, well, not what's cool, I was talking about something different. Transition, guys, transition. This is not cool. I remember I still wanted to sing, and I reached out to a producer, and I was young. I was probably like, 16, and I said hi. Like, he would always tell me, let's work together. I was like, I would love to work with you on a song, and like, please let me know your rates. Like, my parents were so down for the cause.
Yeah.
So like, if we need a
course.
pay, we'll pay. And I remember he, like, as a 16-year-old, texted me back like, what are you gonna do for me in order? So like, my parents
that's
raised
creepy.
me with morals. I'm not an idiot. I knew what he was insinuating, like right off the bat, to where I was just so disgusted. And the industry was so corrupt. I mean, I've known some crazy producers through friends and stuff, and like the way that it was such a dirty industry. It was
Yeah.
all about, what are you going to do for me in order for me to make you what you want to
Yeah.
be. And so that's actually where I find myself in a very dark place, where I got really sad and depressed, because of my whole life I thought I was going to be a singer. That's
Yeah.
what I wanted. It was my passion. I would cry to my parents saying, I'm going to be a singer, I'm going to be a singer. I ended up getting in a really bad car accident. What was it, like the first year we got together? The first year
Yeah.
we got together, I was in an intersection, and the guy ran a red light, and my car was pretty much totaled. How I survived that, I don't know. I walked out of it with nothing but scratches and bruises.
Wow.
Wow.
And I remember just saying, thank you, God. Like, this is a sign from you letting me know that my life is going to change. And it was literally after that situation where my whole life changed. I dedicated my life to, like, I want to help people.
Yeah.
You know, I want to inspire people. I want to take this situation. It was like, I felt like it was not necessarily cheating death, but it was my second chance to do something, amazing with my life. And that's kind of like where it brought me to where I am today. And yeah, I mean, that's literally my purpose. That's how I feel. There's something that you guys have to stay tuned for my YouTube video, because one of the videos I'm coming out with, I'm so excited. It's something I really want to do, and that's something that, like, I'm going to be doing a life-changing experience with Ozzy. I took like a really bad situation, and I'm turning it into something really positive, but that's something that's coming to my YouTube channel. I don't want to say too much about it until it's like set in stone, but for the most part, I mean, that's my journey. This is where I am today. I'm dedicating my platform, like 700 something thousand followers, like you're impacting that many people.
Yeah.
So that's
big
why
deal.
I don't get the whole strut and slay stuff all the time, because it's like, these are role models, you know?
Mhm.
How are you influencing people? Like, is it to let everyone know to go get,
Yeah.
the latest water bottle? I get it, like, get paid, get the post. but at the same time, like, you're given a platform for a reason. Like, there's so many organizations out there, so many people in need, so many things that we could do as people to give back, to help, to do something to change one person's life, and all we're doing is like, look at my new leather jacket. Thank you. Shout out to, shout out Revolt. It's like, I get it.
I do it
caught up in that.
myself.
Yeah.
Look,
I
I do too, and I do it to get paid because that's what I need to do.
Mhm.
But at the same time, I had a reality check, and I was like, I need to do something more. Like, this isn't why God gave me this platform. This didn't happen by accident. This happened because this is my second chance at life to help people, to make a difference, And that's kind of where I'm at with my YouTube, with my Instagram. It's a whole different me. It's like, I say, it's like Brittany 2.0 because it's my way of rebranding myself and saying, look, I'm not going to be like everyone else. I'm not going to get caught up in the
noise.
Yeah, so that's kind of.
And I think that's super important is that at the end of the day, you are a business woman.
Absolutely.
And also being able to rebrand, recreate. I mean, somebody that's done it multiple times is Madonna and has done it super successfully. And it's something that, you were working on your website and you're like, nope, shift, boom, YouTube. Like, it's knowing how to do.
You have to move with
you have to kind of go with it, and it's all about balance. So of course, social media is also a business because everybody has to pay, get bills. Obviously, you and Ozzy, this is your full-time job. Jonathan and myself, I mean, it's our full-time job amongst other things that are going on. Yeah. So it's something that balances everything. Get paid, do whatever you got to do, whatever products that you're endorsing or anything like that, which is great. But then also, what are you bringing to the table? I love that Jonathan posts his prayer requests.
I love that, by the way. I'm so big on that, and I read it all the time, and I'm like, I should put my name. And I'm like, no, but I love that, and honestly, that's one of the main reasons why it's hard to find people of faith and people that genuinely understand that we're put here for a purpose, and there's so much more than just this earth. We're tiny ants on this earth. There's something greater than that, and that's my motto since I was young, and I really do love seeing that because that's inspirational too.
Yeah, for sure, and it's something that is there's a lack of, and just to give that glimmer of hope.
Of course.
Give some hope, give some faith, feel good, and then sprinkle everything else along with that.
Yeah, and then you strut and slay.
Exactly.
There's nothing
that.
You want to strut and slay, that's fine, but also think about the other stuff too, and then you go and pour glitter on everyone else.
That's what I'm saying. That's exactly what I'm saying. But we have exceeded our 60 minutes.
I know.
I can talk to you for.
I can too.
Honestly,
it seemed like 10 minutes. Ozzy's probably falling asleep. He's like,
not at all.
I'm coming for Joe Rogan's podcast, so I can get up to 3 hours.
4 hours.
You know what I'm saying? 3 hour to 4 hour podcast.
That's very exciting.
Yeah, I know. I definitely want to get us to that level. But I am so proud of you. It's amazing. I've known you for quite some time now, and just to watch your journey. And kind of grow and continue to do your thing. It has been really awesome, and you have stayed true to your same person, hence why I wanted you on my show, because it's really important for me to reach out to everybody that has been so good to me from the beginning when I met them,
And you've been good to me since day one. Just want to disclaim that. Natalie, literally, I love you to death. You've always been so good. Jonathan, you guys are both so welcoming. Every time I'd go do your makeup, Jonathan was like, can I get you water? Can I do this? I'm like, oh, you're so nice. So I do have to say that too. It's a mutual thing because you guys are incredible people, and trust me, I'm all about vibes.
No, me too. I'm
I'll
the
cut
same.
anyone out that I'm like, girl,
We see eye to eye exactly on that. And, I've definitely learned the hard way for sure. And Jonathan is definitely a little bit more we'll have to look at that relationship out of your life because you were getting way too emotional.
That's
the way I keep my guard up.
Like, he always gives me the red flag real quick.
Yeah.
I just assume everybody's a serial killer till they prove different.
That's honestly, you and Ozzy would be best friends. He's always like, you need to watch out. She's trying to get your Instagram password. I'm like, what are you talking about?
Oh my God.
She legit just wanted a snap, but okay, everyone's trying to hack me.
No, seriously, those two are on the same page. But I think we'll end it on.
Where can everyone find you?
Oh, yes, tell everybody.
Yes. Okay, so I just started my YouTube. It's BrittanyBearMakeup. And then my Instagram is also BrittanyBearMakeup. Twitter, I think someone stole my name, so it's BrittBearMUA. I don't really tweet, so don't worry about it. You're just going to get my notifications on my YouTube videos. It's like, check out my new video. I transformed into a pixie. And then that's pretty much all. I mean, Snap, I don't really Snap either, so I'm not gonna play you guys.
The main ones is Instagram and YouTube. Yeah, there you go.
YouTube. Thank you.
Oh yeah, we'll have to have a collab for sure. I need you to do something.
Me and Ozzy, I'm telling you, we have it in the works, so we'll let you know once it's done because we gotta We gotta get it all down.
Yeah, we gotta make it poppin' so everybody's like, wait,
Mhm.
what?
Who's that?
Yeah, exactly. I love it. But thank you so much for coming
Thank
on.
you for having me, guys. I
You
had
are-
so much fun, and you're incredible at this, by the way. You need your own damn show.
I got it,
Move over,
girl.
Oprah.
Oh,
No, I'm saying-
like an actual talk show?
You need your talk show.
Move over, Oprah. Ellen, I'm coming for you, girl.
Told
Ellen.
you,
Time to
man.
time, girl.
Told you guys.
Got the Eva.
That's right.
Hey.
All right.
Are we
Yeah.
good?
Yes.
What
And
about
we're out.
Hey.
Alright, Bear Fam, so that concludes today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed this podcast. Hopefully you guys learned some other things about me that you may have not already known. I had so much fun. Natalie, you are literally a natural, and Jonathan, you guys make such an amazing duo. If you guys want to follow them and hear more of her podcast, I'm going to go ahead and list her link in the description as well as down here. So make sure you guys check them out and follow them. They're incredible people. Thank you guys so much for watching today's video. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and as always, guys, hit that subscribe button, and I will see all of my Bear family in the next video. Bye, guys.